Good morning, Big Brother fans. This will be a very brief talk about Big Brother and maybe a little bit longer about Sequester. Again, those of you who are listening to this, we'll get to the Sequester part second, so those of you that want to bail can. The Big Brother part. Well, we were supposed to get the cast reveal, the videos today, but of course that now doesn't appear to be happening. I would say by noon Eastern, by a little bit after noon Eastern, if we haven't heard anything, then we're probably not going to hear anything. CBS changed the teaser on the live feed stream that's been up for a couple of weeks from cast announcement today to tune in for the live premiere show next Wednesday. So they dropped talking about a cast reveal, and it seems to be that the thought is that they're not sure who's going to be on yet until much closer to the actual show. So, not expecting a cast reveal today. Not saying that it may not happen, but not really expecting one. And so, there's not a lot to talk about right now. We haven't heard any new big rumors. I already talked last night about the two newest, biggest names, and I say newest and biggest with air quotes. I'm just saying the newest names that seem to be fairly solid into the cast, and versus those that aren't, but I can recap that very briefly. It does seem that Keisha from Big Brother 10 and David Campbell from Big Brother 11 seem to be fairly certain to be on this season's cast. If they are not on it, they are sequestered, locked up, waiting to possibly be on the show. We just don't know what's going on. We don't know how many cast members or how many former house guests they currently have sequestered to be on the show. They may have a couple of extra in case somebody tests positive for COVID-19. And if that's the case, some of these names we've been hearing may not show up, and there may be names that we hadn't heard anything about who have managed to keep themselves quiet, who are suddenly going to surprise us and be on the show. All right, so that's what I know. It's very limited. Maybe we'll hear something today. I just don't know. None of us seem to have any. No one out there is saying much. I think the closest it's been has been people saying we're gonna get the cast on Monday. So, but you know what? That was already said 3 days ago, and things seem to be very fluid and changing. So, I think we're gonna know when we know. So there you have it for a Wednesday. Hope you're all well. We can talk about Sequester for a little bit now, and I will give those of you that are new a quick summary of what I'm talking about. And those of you that have heard it before, apologies, but I do want to kind of explain it a little bit. So Sequester is an online game that Audrey from Big Brother 17 created several years ago. It was a long-form game. Just think of it like Big Brother, except shorter, and there's a whole community out there, for those of you that don't know, called ORGs. You can abbreviate orgs, but it stands in my mind for online reality games. There's a lot of people. I had no clue this really existed. There are places all over the country, I think college-age students generally, who play 1 week versions of Survivor. Just keep it in Survivor. Just insert your reality game here. Somebody says, I want to play my own version of Survivor. And they get people together, and maybe over the course of, in some cases, a weekend, some cases a week, some cases a couple of months, if they do it mainly online. They play these online games or in-person games. Now, the people obviously aren't completely locked away from reality, but they may have scheduled meetings where they have to play every night from 8 to 10 o'clock at night, or 8 to 9 o'clock at night, or maybe every couple of days they have to log in and play online. And so there's a very structured thing about this, and there's a huge amount of people that actually do this stuff. I didn't know it really existed. So Sequester kind of came from that world, and it had the long form version, and Audrey's had 3 different YouTube versions out there that have been done where people came in for like a weekend and played, or a week and played, and you could actually watch those. But more recently, and I realize it's been going on for more than just recently, but she came up with the concept where it was a one night game, 4 to 5 hours game, online only, log on, and you play a version of Survivor / Big Brother / other shows. It's not called Big Brother. It's not called Survivor. This is a game unto itself with some elements of other games that are familiar. There is a similar to an immunity idol. There is a concept of being dragged, where the person that gets evicted can pull someone with them, which is something that is different from Survivor or Big Brother, but I think is used in other games where you get evicted, you can bring someone with you. There's also a random factor where you spin things. There's also competitions where you can win immunity. So anyways, all these things rolled into one. You think of it as 5 different rooms that you're put in. You bounce around from room to room. It starts with anywhere from 18 to 22, even 24 people sometimes, and you run through all that. Okay, that's the brief summary. I've said this summary several times, so I apologize to those that have heard it a billion times. So I came across, I knew about the long form game. I hadn't seen the short form game until back in April. I checked out a version where Audrey managed to get 10 former Big Brother USA people and 10 Big Brother Canada people to play. So it was Big Brother USA versus Big Brother Canada. And they played, and it was fun to watch. It was exciting. It reminded me of a live double eviction night on CBS. And I was kind of hooked. And so at the time, Audrey had 2 games a week, Fridays and Saturdays. You could apply to play by becoming a patron of her. She has a Patreon account, Sequester. I think it's just Sequester. I think it's just patreon.com/Sequester. And anybody could apply. You just paid at least $3 a month to be eligible. And so I ended up applying and playing. I have now played a total of 3 times. The first time was May 8th. The second time was May 30th. And I played again this past Sunday. The first 2 times I logged on, I played as myself. You saw me sitting behind the camera in a room, interacting with people. This last time was a twist on it in that, and it was not so since the free ones, or not free, but since the Friday and Saturday ones, more recently she started up what's called private, these are called mini sequesters. She started private minis where people that are playing pay to play a different fee. It's outside of the Patreon thing. You pay a flat fee, and it's usually $25 per person. And you're only guaranteed really to play for maybe a couple hours at minimum. So the one I played in on Sunday was actually a charity one. We all picked a charity, and so we actually paid even a little bit more. And the twist on it was that we were all playing undercover. We were hidden. We were not on camera, at least for the first half. You couldn't see us, and our voices were also changed with computer-aided changing our voices. So I had a really deep voice, and instead of seeing me sitting in front of the camera, you saw a raspberry. That was Sunday night. It'll eventually be viewable online if you weren't watching it live. And it was fun to play. It was weird. The whole thought was, well, the advantage is no one knows who you are. They can't judge you or make preconceived, that's a woman, or that's a man, or that's a person of color, or that's not a person of color, or, this or that, or, I know this person, they're my friend, I'm going to work with them. We had no idea who anybody else was. People watching online started to figure it out pretty quick. I was guessed pretty quick by some people. I guess I'm fairly unique in my vocal inflections and the way I speak. So a big chunk of people guessed who I was, which is fine. I don't think people in the game had guessed. Most people in the game didn't know who anybody else was. You would think you might know, because it's a fairly small community and people get to know each other. But as it turned out, I went out pretty quickly, partly on luck. But I also became a target of the eventual winner based on the way I was playing. So I kind of, wish I'd known, kind of kicked myself in the tail for that. I was kind of aggressive, and it caught up with me. So it was a fun thing to play. Those of you that missed it, I didn't announce it or anything. We weren't supposed to say anything. We were supposed to keep it hush-hush. So, but you can go back. I don't think it's available quite yet, but it will eventually be available. So that was fun to do. I am actually going to play in at least, at least probably one more and possibly two. We'll have to see, even after Big Brother has started. But that'll probably be it for a while, I would think. I don't know. Depends on how Big Brother's going. If Big Brother sucks me in just unbelievably, then I probably won't be doing this for quite a while, if I even do it again after that. I don't know. It may be a passing phase for me. But it's a really cool thing. It's a really fun game. I'm just wishing the best for Audrey and hope it succeeds. And right now it seems to be working really well. I mean, they're having, this is like, there's a game tonight, and this is, I think, like the 7th game in a row. I mean, days, and there was like 12 days in a row where there was going to be live minis being every single night. So that's pretty crazy. Oh, I also, on Monday night, I helped run the game in that I was the person who moderated one of the rooms. Those of you that didn't know about that, it was a Disney themed one, and so I was in room 5 as the moderator, telling people to stop talking and making sure that they followed the rules. And I did it in the voice of Goofy. And so those of you who missed that, you can go back and check that out once it's available online. It could be a few days. These things take a while to get set up. So, yeah, that was fun too. And the reason for doing that was because I'm willing to help out run the game, and so I may eventually help out on a few more games. But that schedule is kind of wacky, so we'll have to see how it happens and if what matches my schedule if they need someone. As much as I enjoy doing it, I know that Big Brother is going to consume a lot of my free time. And this is a full commitment when you do something like that, because you're sitting in the room for up to 4 to 5 hours yourself. So I don't necessarily have 4 to 5 hours most nights to sit at my computer. Anyways, that's what's been up in the Sequester community, the Sequester world. And again, if you're interested in that, you can follow sequesteraccess.com. And I have links to Audrey's. It's Audrey Middleton. I have links. Ask me if you're interested for more information, and I will reply with a link to who to follow and what to check out. All right. With that, I think I'm done. So, you guys have a good day. As far as, you know what? We'll kick back to Big Brother, and those of you who didn't want to listen to me talk don't even know that I'm going to do this. That dropped out on the Sequester talk. But Big Brother, live feed information. We don't have any information on when the live feeds start yet. So, your guess is as good as mine right now. I mean, I really don't think it'll start a week from tonight. I really think they'll wait a week. So, and as far as our podcast goes, I don't. We're still up in the air on whether we're doing one this weekend or not. That's all I can say. It's possible, but we have not formally said yes, we're doing one this weekend. Part of that also, depends on what's going to happen. Are we going to have anything to talk about the next week if we do one? I don't know. So we're still in discussions. We're still figuring it out. We'll either have, if we don't have one this weekend, we definitely will have one the following weekend, because we'll have a show to talk about. All right? And with that, I am out of here. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.